Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is Pav Bambra here for PSP Sports, and we've also got
Shane Watson here from PSP Sports as well.
And on the line with us, we've got the legend, Mr. Tim Witherspoon. Tim, thank you so much for talking to us. How are you, Tim?
I'm fine. I'm in the UK.
Good to hear.
It's good to hear, Tim.
Great to hear. I believe Shane's got the first question for you, Tim.
No problem.
What I wanted to ask, and you probably get this question all the time, what was it like being around, what many people say, the greatest boxer, most influential person of all time, Muhammad Ali? What was it like to be around him, train with him, and also what was it like for him to give you your nickname?
Well, he didn't give me the nickname, but it was really, really great being around the greatest of all time. The whole world was talking about him. You know, he's one of the greatest, or is the greatest boxer to ever put a pair of gloves on him. And I'm blessed to be around him. I was blessed, learned a whole lot, learned how to be humble, even though I was. It was just a great experience. And a friend of mine in the neighborhood named Eddie Burgess, he gave me the name. Ali was the promoter. He liked the name. When I sparred with him, he just kept calling me. And it was very pre when I got the name. He gave me the name, and I went to camp a couple months later. And, I did like it, and I didn't. But then I said, hey, I'm going to keep the name.
Absolutely, sounds good. And obviously, you were speaking there about your nickname, but what was it actually like to be around, one of the greatest fighters of all time in Muhammad Ali?
You said, what was it like to be around him?
Yeah. It must have been a great experience, surely.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was talking about. I was talking about Muhammad Ali. Being around him was one of the greatest presents or prizes I ever could ever have. Everybody who wouldn't want to be around him at that time? Who wouldn't, and to learn the things that he projected on people around the world. I mean, I feel like blessed,
Right. Absolutely.
Not everybody get a chance to even shake his hand.
Sure.
What was it like to spar with Muhammad Ali? How hard did he punch, and how skillful actually was he?
Well, he actually was sick when he was training for the Larry Holmes fight, and he was sick. I mean, I didn't realize it till later on, but I was wondering why the greatest of all time is not performing like he should. So when he fought Larry Holmes, Larry Holmes didn't fight the best. Larry Holmes was cheated out of his heritage of beating Muhammad Ali because he was a sick man. So later on, I found out that Parkinson's was setting in, he was dehydrated, and several other things was wrong with him. When he fought Larry Holmes, he had nothing left. So
Wow. Oh, okay. And Tim, also, obviously it's difficult to compare two eras or different eras in the world and in boxing. But how do you think the Muhammad Ali in his prime would fare now in the current heavyweight division with like Tyson, Lennox Lewis, the Klitschko brothers, Tyson Fury? How do you think Muhammad Ali would have fared in this era?
Well, you're talking about those guys, and there's a lot of other guys that was better than them guys you mentioned that you should ask against them. Guys that I think that have beat them names that you're talking about. I actually think, you should ask, there's other guys that could beat those guys that you were saying, but you're saying how would they do against Ali?
Yeah.
Well, the mind is stronger than the body. And you can be big and strong all you want to, but it's your mind that's going to carry you through. So
Right.
like when you lift in 400 pounds, and you got your mates standing around you, and you can't get it past them pushing you, saying, "Come on, you can do it." That's what it really helped you be successful.
Sure.
Is the help and your mind setting. So your physical will go far, but when you get that weight all the way past your head, that's your mind that carries
Sure.
Way more physical. So he would have beat these guys. He would have found something in his brain to outsmart these guys. So these young guys that was up against him.
Is there any? Oh, sorry. Carry on.
No, I'm just saying those young guys that would go up against him, he would outsmart them.
I was going to quickly ask: is there any like funny sparring stories you can tell us you've had on Muhammad Ali? Like, have you ever knocked him down in sparring or anything?
Well, the thing is that I really enjoyed myself sparring with him.
Yeah.
You know, I really didn't have no hard sparring sessions because he was sick, and a lot of people didn't realize it. And I didn't to the end. But it was a beautiful thing. I mean, me being selected to spar with the greatest of all times. That was something, man. Who could ask for that? So
Absolutely.
he was really weak, and then I really found out why he was. And when a week before he fought on Larry Holmes, I found out he had thyroid problems. He lost so much weight, and the first couple of punches in the fights, everybody knew that. Well, I thought, and my trainer, he said, "No, he's not winning because he was very weak." I had fun time sparring with him.
Wow, that's some of the tips or some of the experiences you must have picked up must have been second to none. And also, I mean, being around a guy like Angelo Dundee as well, Tim, that must have been a great experience in itself, being around Angelo Dundee.
Yeah, Angelo Dundee is actually from my neighborhood.
Wow.
Not too far from it. He only lived a 5-minute walk in South Philly. He's from the same neighborhood that I grew up in. There's Irish, Italian, Jewish, and the blacks, and Hispanics, and Vietnamese, Asians, and all that. They came later, but we were the first frontiers of the South Philly area. We came from not too far away, so he was a great man, a great inspiration to Ali. Ali had him around because he had a gift, and a lot of times it worked. When in the ring, when Ali was in the fight, and when he got hurt with Cooper, I think they cut the glove. I think they cut the glove, and they gave him a little bit, so he was intelligent, and that's what happened. I think they cut the glove, and it gave him a couple more minutes to get himself together because he was hurt. I found out that Henry hit him with that left hook, and he was hurt. So I think that was when Angelo cut the glove, and they gave him a lot of time to recover, and then they went on to beat Cooper.
Sure.
So, when's the last time you spoke to Muhammad Ali or seen him?
Oh, well, last time I seen Muhammad Ali was in Manchester about 7 years ago,
Wow.
maybe 6, 5 to 7 years ago, and he was doing a little tour over in the UK, and I didn't wait in line. I just went down. I went down to say hi to him, and he didn't recognize me.
Well, he did recognize you, or he didn't?
He didn't.
Oh.
He didn't recognize me, so he was looking at me like confused, and like I know that guy from somewhere, but he never replied to me. His wife was saying, it's Tim Witherspoon. He didn't give no response, and I felt kind of bad about it. I said, oh wow, maybe inside he know who I am. He just can't express himself.
Yeah.
And so we went on. Ricky Hatton was there. A whole lot of people was there. That was the last time I seen him. So, just to me, I seen he was deteriorating me more and more.
Okay. No, I understand. And also, Tim, you had a pretty epic and close fight with Larry Holmes. You only lost on a split decision. It was a very close fight. I mean, looking back on that now, how did you see that fight with Larry Holmes? And obviously, back then, I'm sure you wanted to fight him again so you could avenge that loss.
Yeah, I did. Even Well, before that, no. Before that fight, I didn't think that they was going to give it to me unless I knocked them out.
Right.
I was just merely focusing on trying to do the best I can and beat him up because he was disrespecting me. I was nobody. Who am I? 14-0. No, people heard of me coming up, and so he figured he can dismantle me mentally by saying words and using aggression, trying to scare me. But like we just talked about South Philly, I'm from South Philly,
Yeah.
where we were, small little part of Philly where a lot of different cultures, and we were fighters. So I had a lot to represent. So I had to back it up. I'm not going to stand back. I'm representing South Philadelphia, well, Philly, but I had to represent because when I go back, they're gonna love me, but I want to do good. So that's what really gives me the energy when he started harassing me and I don't have no money. He's gonna knock me out and take my wife from me and knock me out and put me on sanctions and welfare, and that made me angry. And we had a lot of fights leading up to the fight, a lot of entourage fights, and I just had it. And then at the fight, I said, you know what? I know they're not going to give it to me unless I knock him out, but I'm going to whip his butt. And that's what I did. So after the fight, my team was picking me up. You won. I threw my hands up, but I knew they wasn't going to give it to me.
Yeah.
He was trying to break Rocky Marciano's record. And he didn't say Rocky Marciano can wear my jockstrap yet, because if he did, I'd have won that fight. He said it afterwards. Remember he said Rocky Marciano couldn't wear his jockstrap?
Yep.
That was his downfall. You don't remember him saying that?
Yeah.
Yep. No, we do.
Yeah, that was his downfall.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, another thing I want to speak to you about.
I would have won.
Yeah. Another thing I wanted to go on to, obviously, what I probably would assume you would say is your greatest victory of your career, knocking out Frank Bruno in front of his home fans at Wembley. And also you got the WBC world title. You're obviously a former world champion. What was your experience like coming to London, fighting such a big name in Frank Bruno? And what did that victory do for you?
Well, the thing was, I didn't really know what was going on until I landed in the airport. I didn't know how big this fight was. I thought I was just coming to defend my title. I didn't know they was hyping it up until once I flew in the airport. It was a lot of people. These women escorted me. These stewardess, they escorted me all through the airport. They were taking pictures. It was crowded, and I said, "Something's wrong." Something's wrong. And so, I came over. It was something new. But as coming over in my mind, I had in my mindset that, hey, I'm a champion. I'm going to come over and defend my title in another country and win.
Yeah.
You're a champion when you do things like. There's a lot of things you can do, but that's one of the things you do to really, be put in that category. So that's one thing I wanted to do is go home victorious, go in there with a whole lot of people screaming at me, a whole lot of odds against me, and win the fight. And my dream came true. So there was a lot of tactics that the English people were using. They put a whole bunch of orange juice in my hotel room, like 14 cases, poly tainted with sugar. And they tried to send women up to my room. And it was like not the last week, it was like a weekend, week and a half, and we was working out, running, and I would come back and drink the whole quart because I was thirsty. So my trainer came in my room and said, where all this come from? I said, they gave it to me last week. He made me step on a scale later. I was like 8 pounds heavier.
Wow.
Yeah, I was 8 pounds heavier. And he took all the juice. He hollered, he said, why didn't you tell me you had this juice? And he gave it to all the sparring partners. So I didn't know. I didn't realize it. But the juice, that was 12 to 14. It was cases of orange juice. What I need that for?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we gave it away, but it was too late. They had already gained like 8 to 10 pounds.
Wow, right.
Drinking that juice off him. That was in Battleton.
Okay, right. Okay, cool. In Boston. Okay, and I mean, Tim. I mean, Frank Bruno back in the day when he fought, he was loved by the British people. He was the poster boy for British boxing. He was loved by the British public. I mean, as you know for yourself, you fought him at Wembley in a packed out stadium. And obviously, I think about around a month, Tim, to 6 weeks ago, I think Frank Bruno, and there was a lot of rumours from Frank Bruno as well, saying that he wanted to make a comeback to pro boxing. What's your opinion on this, Tim?
Hold on. I don't think that he should come back. I think that for guys like me and Frank, and I would talk a little bit in depth about him, that he shouldn't come back. He had things that's wrong with him, and I did a couple of dinner speakings with him, and I could tell. But with boxing me, I'm gonna go over to a tiny bit, and another thing. With boxing me is aftercare for former boxing champions. If they spend up all their money, they should have something to fall back on, or if they get mental, they should have somebody to help them, or even if they should just help them. It should be a union. We should have a union, collective bargaining, just like any other sport.
Yep.
We should have a union. We should have a corporation.
Right.
So we can protect all the boxers. So Frank Bruno, he was talking about coming back, and I was saying that's ridiculous. He should be talking about doing commentary work or like training boxers, or finding something in the sports industry for him to do. I think that was really crazy for him to do that. So a lot of people expected something like that to happen anyway. Him to say, "Yeah, I'm going to come back and fight."
Fair enough.
What I also wanted to ask you about was, what was your relationship like with Don King?
Okay, that's a good one. Well, there's a lot of people that don't like him because he the way he operated and treated boxers. I was fighting against him all these years, took him to court. It was time for me to let bygones be bygones. In other words, I got to live my life, and I have like 11 grandkids. I got 5 girls, 1 son. I even got a grandson over here in Barnsley, and I got a daughter that lives with me that's from England. I have to put my love to them instead of worrying about Don King. There's people still talking about Don King. Even when Don King was doing it, there was other people. He was making so much noise. There was other people ripping other boxers off and didn't get that exposure.
Right.
So Don King was doing it, but there was a whole lot of other people doing it also. So I met him in Vegas. There was another fighter I think he was doing -2. He came over to me, said, "Hey, Tim, I love you, man." I said, "I love you," and left it like that.
Right.
I said, "I love you," and like that. Because when we was fighting them, nobody helped us.
Yeah.
None of the promoters, none of the people with all the money, the TV people. Oh, this is the game that everybody loves, boxing. Why not you helping me? I'm up there putting my life, not my life, well, yeah, my life, and I could have got hurt, but I'm putting a lot of things on the line. Everybody talking about Don King, do something. I'm doing something and I'm broke. So after all these years, I said, you know what? Everybody just was talking stuff, but then nobody helped.
Yeah.
So if I do business with Don King, I have a lawyer. When I do business, he have to do business. But I would have a lawyer and somebody else representing the situation, So I learned a whole lot from that. But to go on saying all this, I've never lived my life. So I got my daughter right next to me now, and I'm happy. But talking about Don King, I don't want to do that no more. So
Sure.
There's enough people in the world to talk about him. I did enough.
Absolutely, Tim. And also, Tim, I mean, in these days you hear, in boxing, Tim, in general, these days you hear so many problems with, participants in sport taking drugs, or, there's something dodgy about the gloves or something about a ring.
Yeah.
I mean, Tim, in your opinion now, would you say there is still a lot of corruption or problems in boxing behind the scenes?
I'm sure there's somebody saying here, I'm gonna give you a couple of grand, do this for me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just obvious enough that if you don't think that there's a referee that I'll meet in the bar down the street and give him $2 grand or $5 grand on an important fight. Do you think? Yeah, I think so. There's some that probably won't take it, but me in my heart, there's somebody still doing negative stuff, and all you got to do is meet down the street in a pub or a bar or a restaurant, and it can be done. But then there's honest people that won't. But I still think that in the commissions and the way people are rated, I think there's something going on. And then there's some that they are, and there's some that they're not going to do for. So I actually think that it's still maybe not at the same level, but it's still going on.
Fair enough.
What is your view on the current heavyweight division? For example, people like Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua.
Okay, that's beautiful. I think that let's start it with Anthony Joshua. Because I was really presented to try to. I was offered a job to try to train him. I don't know if it was by his management. There was a group of people in London was trying to get me to work with him, and I met him on the tube. I met him at different events. The nicest kid in the world. He lacks skill. He's knocking guys out. Okay, but when the competition gets stronger, when he won't be able to hurt somebody, that's where the problem's going to be. Because I don't see nothing else. I just see him coming in, and he's not aggressive like a champion. Even though he got the belt, I was watching the tapes, and I said, man, I remember us coming right out, bang, boom, boom, bam, and punching,
Yep.
I even seen him backing up early in the early rounds. And I think a lot of that comes from him, his lack of being taught certain things.
Right.
Because I was confident. That's why when I came in, I stood straight there and made the guy miss. Slip, boom, hit him back. He needs defense. So I would have loved to train him because he would really be the finishing. When you finish shining the car and it looked really shine.
Yeah.
That's what I would have been. I would have been the guy shining that car. They built the car up, and now it's time to shine it and finish it off. I would have been that guy. His defense, you'll see. If he don't hurt somebody, it's gonna be a different fight. If he's up against somebody that's powerful and strong and he can't hurt him, you're gonna see how much he knows. And he's only, when I see him, I'll be saying, man, I'll be feeling bad because his group of people that he's around should let somebody come in and teach him a little bit more than the people that done. I think it's a discredit because his body looked good, he trained real hard, but then when he started boxing, his skills don't match the way he is. His skills don't match. Even though he gets knockouts, I'm not satisfied. Even though his trainers and all of them, I'm not satisfied because he can do 100% better. I think Tyson Fury will beat him if he don't get hit. With Tyson would have no problem. He's been down on the canvas 4 or 5 times, got up and knocked his opponents out. That's experience, and that's really taking a chance. I love them both, but Tyson Fury beats Joshua if he don't get really hit hard. He'll school him and possibly knock him out.
Wow.
We had Dave Price. I was supposed to train Dave Price. He asked me to train him.
Yeah.
So when I flew over, I tried to talk to Frank Maloney. They ignored me. He got knocked out by Tony Thompson. Got knocked out by Tony. I could have just helped him. We could have won. Okay, David Hay, him and Shannon Briggs.
Yep.
I think that's good for boxing. All this is good for boxing.
Yep.
But
Interesting.
I think that Shannon Briggs and the David Hay fight is good for is good for boxing over here. I'm glad Shannon came over here. Anything that's good for boxing, I'm gonna be for it, you know. So it's a positive thing, and it's good. The hype is up. Shannon came over. David Hayes said his piece. Now they're gonna fight. That's good for boxing in America and here. So
yeah.
And Deontay Wilder, if he don't hit you with the right hand, he's in trouble. He doesn't know how to fight inside. There's no defensive being. You see Mayweather doing that pad work. You don't see no defensive mechanism. All you see is a rhythm, him getting his rhythm together. Everybody's copying that style with the pads. And to me, there's no defensive mechanism in it. It looks pretty, hit the shoulder, slipping, and they don't be slipping all the way. And to me, everybody is fouling, but only one person is capitalizing on it, and that's Floyd Mayweather.
Right.
So everybody trying that Floyd, and that's my style. That's my style. But it's just no defense. Everybody's offense. Joshua don't have a defense. Tyson Fury moves a lot. He's awkward. That's his defense. David Hayes, his chin. Price needs a lot more heart, and he needs to get towards some more. So you got a nice group of guys. You got this guy from New Zealand,
Joseph Parker.
His name is Joe Parker.
Parker, yeah.
Now his defense is bad. His defense is bad.
Yeah.
But he gets the job done.
Yeah.
So somebody asked me a question about Joe Parker. I had an interview with him, and I was watching him. I said, "Well, that kid is powerful, but his defense. If somebody hit him, he's going to go down too. His defense." Did we miss anybody on the heavyweight?
No, I think that's everyone. You've got Luis Ortiz as well, the Cuban who's WBA regular champ.
I've seen the Cuban fight once, and he knocked out the guy from Philly.
Brian Jennings.
Jennings, yeah.
Yeah, he knocked out James J. Jennings. Okay, that was a good fight, but I don't think that was enough for me to really. Didn't he knock somebody else out?
He beat Tony Thompson, I think, as well, didn't he?
He beat Tony Thompson.
Yeah, he did beat Tony Thompson, didn't he?
Yeah, I think so. He
beat Tony Thompson.
I think that he has a legitimate. I think he has a legitimate. Time. It's a legitimate time for him to get his shot or whatever. I know he's fighting real soon or something like that. He's fighting somebody tough.
I think he's fighting soon. I think he might either fight if Lucas Brown comes back to boxing, he could fight him, or he could fight the winner of Fury Klitschko or Luis Ortiz. Yeah, there's a guy called Frezequendo as well. He also could fight him.
Frezequendo, he's not finished.
Say that again, sorry? Frezequendo.
Frezequendo, you said?
Yeah, because
I thought he was finished.
the WBA are doing a heavyweight title tournament, Tim, which includes Fury, Klitschko.
Come out of retirement.
Yeah. It includes Frezequendo, Luis Ortiz, Lucas Brown. It includes all of them. So, also, Tim, sorry, just to finish up on now as well. Obviously Tyson Fury became the unified heavyweight champion back in November, defeating the super champ Vladimir Klitschko. The rematch is in a month's time on July the 9th. How do you see that rematch going, Tim, between Tyson and Vladimir?
Okay. I predicted Tyson would win again, but then I saw him and the stick in his stomach out and his attitude about boxing. He's thinking about retiring. Same thing David Hayes did. And that's crazy because he had the right to retire. But when you got a whole country on your side and you're not getting hurt and you're making money, why are you going to get retired? David wasn't getting hurt. And he had all these people loving him over here. And then he started talking about doing television. Then he started talking about doing some other stuff, and that kind of like put a bad taste in a lot of the fans' mouth because he's a boxer. And and I hate when boxers say, "Well, I made enough money, I'm gonna quit." You have the right to quit. I think Floyd, he did a lot. Maybe there is one or two more people that he can prove something to.
Yeah.
But David Hayes stuff at that point. He should have fought, gave his fans what they wanted, so his legacy can be made. But Tyson Fury, I predicted to beat Klitschko because he's everywhere. He's over here, he's over there. You can't get a solid shot on him. And Tyson Fury, and Klitschko doesn't know how to fight inside. Every time there's a combination and his opponent gets close to him, he grabs, and that's boring.
Yeah.
That's boring. So he only threw 4 body shots in his last fight. Was it 4 or 6?
I think, to be honest, when Vladimir fought Tyson, Tim, Tyson's game plan was so good. The fact that Vladimir could barely hit him, Vladimir barely threw his hands. Tyson gave Vladimir such a style that no other fighter had given Vladimir before. So Vladimir...
It was a sloppy fight.
Yeah, so Vladimir found it really hard to hit Tyson.
Right, listen, I like Tyson, that's my buddy, but it was a sloppy fight. Was it championship stuff? It was borderline. Just my opinion. Everybody had one. He won the fight, and I predicted him to win. Right before the fight, I'm on Facebook, Huey on Facebook, and Huey said, he's right here. He texted me, he's right here. And I told him, I know you're 6'8", and you got long arms. Fight him on his jab your way in, and when you're inside, stay there and fight him. You'll knock him out. I guarantee you, if he would have stayed inside with Klitschko, he would have knocked him out. I'm telling you, because Klitschko doesn't know how to do nothing inside. Everything is outside. Watch his tape, guys. Inside, even though Tyson got long arms, he would have knocked Klitschko out. So when I told Fury that, Huey said, I just now let him read the text. And I said, okay. I said, good luck, guys. But I was behind him 100% because Klitschko is in phenomenal shape. But he's on the offense, and he has no defense, and he does well, and everybody knows he's been doing well all these years, but no defense at all, and no inside game.
Right.
These guys, it's so easy to fight some of these guys these days. All you got to do is be in really good shape, and you'll easily win the fight. A lot of guys in my era were in today, man, we haven't failed. I'm not going to say it was going to be real easy, but we would do a better job. We had everything, offense, defense. I'm waiting for one of these heavyweights to come. I'm training a guy now, and he's fighting Saturday, Cash Ali.
Cash Ali, yeah.
I'm teaching him defense. He's 9-0, 2 knockouts. I'm saying this guy can't more than 2 knockouts.
Yeah.
9-0, so he's getting ready to come up. I'm training him. I showed him some stuff. He said, "Man, I never was taught nothing like this." This is what he was saying, and he kept coming, learning. And I said, "Look, this is just a little drop in the bucket. There's a whole lot more I know." So he's fighting Saturday. I don't have my license to be in the corner. So Graham's going to be in this corner, and I'm going to be ringside shouting.
Yeah, I mean, Tim, we actually just interviewed Cash Ali around 3 or 4 hours ago. So yeah, we actually just spoke to him.
What'd you say?
We actually just spoke to Cash Ali around 3 or 4 hours ago. We just interviewed him on for his fight on Saturday. We just spoke to him now.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
What did he say? Because he's been really improving on his defense. Countering and stuff, and I showed him the Mayweather stuff, but I told him not call it Mayweather, but it ain't him. We've been doing this way before Mayweather. Mayweather has a couple of defects, but he's successful. Everybody else that's trying to imitate him, they're not even doing it correctly, But
yeah, Cash Ali's got a fight on Saturday.
In this short time that I've been training him, I've seen a lot of improvement in his defense.
Yeah.
And I kept telling him, if you block a punch, do not back up. The reason for you blocking a punch or slipping a punch is to give the other guy one back. So a lot of guys be blocking then stepping away. When I throw a punch at somebody, that means they're open. So why step away? You can knock the guy out.
Right.
Ride the punch out and return your fire.
Yeah.
So this is what Cash is going to do. He's going to catch. If he catches punches, He's going to throw right back. He's not going to back up. A lot of guys back up 3 yards, then take a picture, then wave to the audience and take a picture. We didn't do that. But if you watch some of the fights, why these guys jump all the way back and come forward?
Well, Tim.
You see a lot of boxers that go back like about 3 yards when they don't have to. They go back 3 yards and pose, take a picture, then go back to fighting. And they do it a lot. I'm like, wow, it's really getting bad. You don't see a lot of guys going that back in the back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, we hear you.
About 4 yards.
We hear you. Absolutely.
Yeah, Tim. We've really enjoyed having you for an interview. It's been incredible having you on here. Such a legend of heavyweight boxing who's had great knowledge to give us, and we really appreciate all the information you've told us.
Absolutely.
We'd love to have you on sometime again in the future. And I'm pretty sure all the fans and stuff who are going to watch are going to love hearing of what you've had to say.
You know I'm on Facebook. All you got to do is hit me up. Only thing I'm trying to do, I don't dislike any one of these boxers.
Yeah.
Because I was a boxer. I'm a boxer. I love helping these boxers out. But if you lie, that's not going to help you or the guy that you're trying to help. So I'm only telling the truth from my thoughts. You know what I'm saying? When I think this guy don't have I think he needs sharpening his defense up or throwing his right hand. Oh, I showed Cash the overhand right. He threw it pretty good, and he come up with the uppercut.
Yeah.
The right hand down and come up. So I'm not trying to down nobody when I talk about Tyson or David Hay. I'm only saying what I think. I'm not perfect. What I think that they should be doing. So
sure. Sounds good.
Thank you for having me on the show. And if you want me back on the show, I would love to. I'll be much sharper next time.
No problem.
I haven't been getting that many interviews.
No problem. We want to say once again, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for talking to PSP Sports, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe. This has been Tim Witherspoon here, the legend himself, with Shane Watson and Pav Bamber of PSP Sports. Thank you very much.
Thank you.